Oh, I'm not even on the right chart, but gosh, I'm but it's at a daily fair value gap, so I'm expecting a response down. Will I get it? Totally different question. Zoom out a little bit, see what I think. Yeah, I feel like I'm opposing order flow. I mean, I expect this 15-minute candle to rebalance up into here. It's going to create this fair value gap, obviously. And I guess the question is, can I get my TP or not before it reverses? Trying to think about the daily profile, where what that's going to unfold and look like. Initially, I was thinking London low of the day. Were you bearish or bullish on the day, Chris? Or did you not have a bias because you were already done? But I was thinking, oh, is this London low of the day? Higher time frame level hit, SMTs. Never formed that breaker, unconfirmed, not bullish. We didn't break above, not bullish then. So I didn't get the New York AM continuation model. Yeah, I can't jump from model to model. Yeah, I've done two models for me. First was Friends 15-minute Matilda. I guess we talked about this, didn't we, Chris? Yeah. And then the second was the Breaker IFVG and or IFVG. I kind of have two variations I'm playing, either a straight inversion with the same criteria, SMT, liquidity grab, same thing as you, SMT, liquidity grab, higher time frame level, all that good stuff, or the breaker inversion. You long this morning at 650. Beautiful, right there. Oh, buddy, and that's nice. Like, look at that. Just get distribution. Boom. Probably got your 2R out of it too. Okay, getting some distribution, getting some reaction. So my rule was no break even. I gave myself a caveat that I don't know if I should have, which is if it's price, if it gets 75% to my TP, I can go break even. What do you think about that one, Chris? London high was your target? QR was midnight open. This tailless candle have all of these gaps. Do you agree with that? The break even is fine when you're almost to your TP. So I don't really have, let's see here. I don't really have an actual target, this tailless candle right there. We have these gaps here, this gap. All right, well, you got the new 15-minute candle. Where's 22222222? So the bottom of this gap would be the 15 consequent encroachment of the 15-minute gap. So you go, yeah, if you hit 1.5R, you go break even, which this is 1.3 to this point. And I don't know, like, you agree with this or not, Chris, but what Hydra would do is, like in this instance where he took a loss first, and then he would take another trade, he would close the second trade when he mitigated the losses from the first trade. Is that something you're doing, or are you holding for your 2R to further offset the losses? Got a tailless candling. 23,229, so you're looking at 229. I was at 222. Yeah, similar, same zone, right? Same zone. I was looking at 222. Pretty much the top of that candlestick. But I like this tailless candle right here, at least for now. So rejecting off that 5-minute fair value gap so far. There is this fair value gap down in here too. So we could rebalance down into there or continuing on. %50 of the range is right above that fair value gap's consequent encroachment, but it's not both of them combined, so it could be, that's conservative target. Now, if you had a bearish bias, this would be a short. Right? For me, at least, tap into a higher time frame level, a 15 5-minute fair value gap. Here could be a stop hunt. Here's an inversion. Here's the stop hunt. Here's the inversion. And then this is the manipulation on the hourly open for the 10 a.m. candle. Given the daily level, the bullish SMT, feel like I should do it. Or I did what I should have done. Any other info? This is where my brain is like analyzing everything again and again and again. And maybe that's partly why I get exhausted trading, is what's done is done. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe not going break even preserves my mental capital because it's not a choice, right? Like I did it and I have to accept and own that choice. Take responsibility for my actions. And even if I look back in hindsight and go, it wasn't my model, pop out to go break even because maybe then whatever, maybe something was wrong. Maybe I misread SMT. I don't typically take anything that's not my model. This maybe, I guess now they say that, this is a little bit iffy because it's an inverted inversion, but I can always justify it in my head. I'm like, oh, well, Hydra says that inverted inversions are more high probability than just a regular inversion, right? So that's kind of where like my justification was, but I guess I hadn't fully back tested even inverted inversions. But back to what I was saying is just that I guess that's a good component of maybe self accountability. And by allowing myself to break even on a trade, it allows you to have excuses. Like, oh, well, whoops, that one didn't meet this criteria. That one didn't meet that criteria. And like, I don't know where the balance is. Like, I prefer balance over anything else. And like, because sometimes I feel like you have to enter quickly. You don't get enough time to check it out. And so then a few times, I enter quickly and then I can check everything out and maybe exit out of the trade if that isn't looking good. So maybe that's a bad thing to do. Maybe it's you don't enter unless you've dotted all your I's and crossed all of your T's. I like that. So some equal lows and a rejection block. Nice. Coming into previous day low and the Goldbach equilibrium. I don't like that. So far, this inverted fair value gap's holding. Yeah, it's because you, at the end of the day, you're trying to preserve capital. Run out of money, you can't take a trade. Yeah, I struggle with that because, like, it's kind of like I feel like, I often did the 1R thing, uh, or 1-to-1 thing. And that was nice because, like, I won a whole bunch of trades. But it felt really hard to get ahead when you took a few losers because, you take 3 or 4 losses in a row, which with a 50% win rate, statistically, likely to see 6 losses in a row. 6 losses at a 1-to-1 means you need 6 wins to make that up. But maybe what it is if I'm just talking out loud here to myself because I'm sitting here. Maybe it's if you're mitigating a loss, you do 1-to-1 to make that loss up, and then beyond that, you do the 2-to-1 get ahead. I know Hydra's more like 1.5-to-1. He TPs early, he TPs at the swing, which is typically not even sometimes not even 1R, sometimes it's a little bit above, and then he TPs again at 2R, so his trades are like 1.5. Yeah, all things to journal for sure. All right, so this tailless candle was mitigated. Which, can still come down into the discount here. I really don't want to see it spend very much time below the hourly open. And then I'm just offsides if that's, which is totally possible. Totally possible to be offsides. $8.20, sorry, $10.20. Dancing around my entry. Anything else I want to take into account here? Yeah, I think this 5-minute fair value gap is going to help tell the story. What's going on with ES and YM? All right, so YM. YM. Yeah, that's confirmed 5-minute bearish SMT. Coming down into that 5-minute fair value gap. Got my quarter to flip. So these trades are just a coin toss. I have no clue of the outcome. None. I have a desire for the outcome. That's part of the problem, right? Every trader wants to win. What does Hydra say? I'm ready to lose. I liked that. I liked when he was saying that. I'm ready to lose. So yeah, I'm kind of neutral, I guess, at this point. That was a nice response with this candle here, the 1005. Gave a nice response there. Respected the consequent encroachment of that 5-minute fair value gap, that SIBI. All right, we were on a No News Tuesday. I forgot that it was No News Tuesday. So that's interesting. That to me, so the 9:30 might have been the distribution, and now then the rest of the session just chops because of no other volatility, market drivers. See what's going on the lower time frame. All right, they're supposed to pull my batteries out of my mouse, aren't I, Chris? It doesn't have batteries. I guess I can turn it off. All right, so that's a nice distribution. Is this just a stop hunt, though? Got some relative equal lows down here. I was looking for an SMT. Let's see. I don't think there's a bullish SMT down there too, yeah. I guess I don't have a rule for trailing my stop. Now, if I'm not, if I'm getting specifics with that, you think about that. Because like here's a significant swing, right? So probabilities are this swing point should hold, and if I'm wrong, not saying it still can't come down, tap this swing and push that up. I do know that this like down in here is too much, so I can tuck my stop up below 3 PD arrays, right? Like you're saying, Chris. Now, so we have an inversion here. Here's a breaker. Here's an inversion. Here's a swing point. So yeah, like this. So what about this one, Chris? Like here's a swing low, and this one's been rated, but it's not significant, right? Minor, and still technically minor, but you have an insignificant low rated and that low rated. For sure, this fair value gap, like it can raid this low and I can still be on sides. This high has been taken. But I'm going, so conservatively here with this 1.3 trade that it should just distribute if it's going to distribute. So here, if I'm understanding what you're saying, I guess that is because that's a new high, right? Swing low is rated. Here's a new high. That's a break of structure. So this 5-minute fair value gap is failing. Far. 1 minute 30 seconds to closing above. See if it does it. It took this high. It could be a stop hunt. I'd like to see price push up into 2222. 222. The daily low right there at 205. Interesting. Right. Previous day low right there. Yeah, anything can happen, right? Oh, for sure. Like so many times I've seen it do this kind of thing. It raids this high, right? Raids this high, comes down, raids this low, and then rips. Because this could be a consolidation before distribution again, which is more than likely. But yeah. So I gotta detail out these. I guess that's interesting. Like these. Sorry, all kinds of messages. You know, these little details, like you can't make your rules so overwhelming that they're hard to follow. I've had those kind of rules too, and I loosened them up, but then it's like I get these variables like when do I trail my stop or not? Is prices moving? And and it just becomes too complicated. Yeah, I love that you're about the data, man. You're like me in crypto physio, right? Data nerds. I just don't have that granular of of data. I guess maybe that's me not being disciplined enough to document every single aspect. But like, yeah. So there is that level 2222. That is the consequent encroachment of the fair value gap. 15. The volume imbalance on the 4 is right above. So is my target a little high? Maybe. But I wouldn't mind breaking even on this one on the day. Don't like the tailless candle down there. Pushing up, up. Need a little more. Come on, girl. That guy? Thank you. Hold on. Breakfast delivery. This is like where I start to get a little impatient. I'm like seeing this tailless candle down here. It's so close. Part of me wants to not accept minus $11 for the day. Just something psychologically about that. I want to hold off to get the positive $2 or whatever it might. And even then, after the contract fees and all that, still probably be a negative number. Here's this fair value gap. Don't want to see it come below that, preferably. Ooh, look at that. I'm gonna do one of two things. That to me says it's coming or it's going. So I'll zoom down. I'm kind of feeling like it's coming, so maybe I'll just close it, take what I can get. Tailless candles up above. That's a solid rejection block. I don't want to see it come below consequent encroachment of that, so that sweep down here, targets up above. Yeah, you don't fight it over a few ticks. I was just about to do that, and then it just went boom. That's okay. So for me, this rejection block's important. I want to see this get inverted. Maybe I shouldn't even be on the 15-second. Zoom out a little bit. Yeah, I don't. think that's all she wants to give, potentially. Unless this candle starts moving. That would create a nice little order block if it went closed above there, but doesn't look like it wants to. Getting close to calling it. So a consolidation, tailless candle. Coming up into this 15-second fair value gap. So that took that low. So shouldn't come below 50% of this wick here. Shouldn't come below that fair value gap. It could just be consolidating. So I'm gonna just kind of tighten this up until one or the other happens. Either it rails through this fair value gap, or it doesn't, like it might. I'm not expecting price to come anywhere down in here in the next little bit. It either hits my sell limit or my sell stop. Cool. Balancing out this inefficiency, creating an inefficiency rather, probably. Expecting that to be there. Chris doesn't fight it. He goes with the flow. That really is true. Like I think you know that Justin Weirland post where he talks about strength and submission and trading and how it relates to God, right? And just not forcing our will onto the markets and following the will of the markets versus just like forcing our will onto God's plan for us. I'm going to assume this high is going to get taken, and then I'm just going to trail this up a little bit. didn't close above that gap. Okay, well, maybe that's different then. Anyway, I'm splitting hairs here. That candle did close above. I was taken right there. So internal to external. Just waiting to see if we get one more push up. I have stop tucked pretty close, but I pushed my target up a little bit. Gap was my original target. And what we see. So it did create an inversion or a fair value gap. So for me, if it doesn't invert that, I'll just close it. All right, so that candle's inverting that. 15 second, did leave a tailless candle down there. My eye, it shouldn't come down any further than this. Next couple minutes. Forming a what are we, the 45 after, so 10:45, 10:46 New York time. So outside of macro, and with that rejection there, that to me feels significant. I want to see where that candle closes. So that candle is going to close pretty bearishly. So, 2 seconds. So yeah, I'm out. Done. Take that stop. Boom. All right.